10:37 here, Big 550 KTRS, our favorite segment of the week. Kat Neville from Feast Magazine. Good morning, Kat.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm great.
All right, good.
Sounds like Kelly is she's back on the sugar.
Kelly.
Just for one
The sugar
day.
train.
She was listening last week and decided to check out one of your recommendations as you were giving it. So went
Yes.
to Vincent Van Donuts.
I did. The
And you
power
had
of suggestion.
4.5 donuts
I
there.
did not.
Fluffy pillows of happiness.
I got one French toast donut. Let me tell you, people, it was so good. Your recommendations are always great.
Oh,
but
thank
I
you.
literally, I went right there.
Yeah, they're amazing. Good stuff.
All right, what do you got for us this week?
Okay, this week I have two new spots. The first one is in Soulard, and it's at 1031 Lynch, right across the street from Anheuser-Busch, right across the street from the brewery.
Right.
And it's called Fleur de Lilies, and it's very interesting because it is a Creole restaurant with a hint of Asian food.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Exactly.
There's
You're like,
a-
what?
There's
How
a
did that happen?
pairing.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I had a chance to stop by, and it's really interesting the way that they've kind of pulled things together. Some things are fusion, like they have a fusion peel and eat shrimp. They have, some other things like a tomato salad that has a cilantro and chili, but then also some pine nuts. So they have like a few fusion dishes, but then they have some real classic Creole dishes. And one of the owners, it's two women that own it. One of the owners, it's her grandma's recipes, and so they have like etouffee, which is delicious, and then they have a jambalaya. They have a couple po' boys on the menu, and then they also on the Asian side they have this Wagyu beef bulgogi burger. And so if you're familiar with beef bulgogi, Andrew's like, yeah.
He's shaking his head.
It has that wonderful sweet Korean marinade, and then so that's topped with some kimchi and then a sesame sauce, which is lovely. They also have kalbi, which are Korean-style short ribs, also with some kimchi. They have house-made gyoza, which are those kind of pan-fried dumplings with a real nice spicy dipping sauce. And so it's a really interesting spot, and the interior, it's just kind of like they have a great big patio in the back. So, now while it's still kind of the end of summer, it's great to kind of sit out there. And I had a really good time. I just sat at the bar and had a glass of wine and ate a bunch of stuff. So good stuff.
1031
Yeah, really interesting.
Lynch Street, across the street from the brewery. It's right
Yep.
there. It's been a couple of things throughout the years. Fleur de Lilies.
De Lilies. And they also have, just for McGraw, a lot of sushi. They have a big sushi menu, which there really is not a lot of sushi. I don't think maybe any sushi in Soulard. So it's kind of
It's a
a
law.
different
It's a
spot.
rule.
That's great.
It's a
Do you have a little
sushi-
taste?
I have promised you that I will try sushi.
Did
Me
you?
too.
Not yet.
Right.
But
I think he's going to love it.
That was like a couple of weeks ago.
well,
McGraw. There's been plenty of time.
I didn't put a timeline on it. I didn't say.
Let's put a deadline on this.
I think we should.
Okay, I think by next week you should go and try sushi. We'll check in with you then.
All right.
on,
Next
you can
week
do
I
it.
got to try sushi?
Yes.
All right. Fleur de Lilies,
Yes.
1031 Lynch Street. We should say that Kat Neville with Feast Magazine is brought to you by Jimmy's on the Park, 706 Demond Avenue in Clayton. Call them at 725-8585. Their website's great, jimmyscafe.com for menu and directions. All right, Kat Neville, what's number two?
Number two is a new Italian spot in the Loop brought to you by Mike Randolph, who is well known for the Good Pie, but he closed down the Good Pie, if you remember, in order to reopen the space as Randolfi's Italian Kitchen. The address is 6665 Delmar, Suite 100B. And
Drive the postman crazy on that
Yeah.
one. All right.
It's on the ground floor, and it's great. So the Good Pie, they closed it down. They redid the interior. It's now very, very cozy. They put in like the red and white checkered tablecloths, and they still have pizzas. They still have that amazing wood burning oven. So there are like 4 different pies on the menu, and you can also then they're going to be doing like rotating daily, weekly selections. And they have an amazing selection of pastas. The one that I would highly recommend, it's called, I'm gonna butcher this.
That's all right. We do it all day long.
Mugnia. Okay, it's okay.
We don't know if you butchered it.
I know. It sounded right to me.
Mugnaia, which I've never heard of this noodle. It's a handmade noodle. that almost is more like a dumpling. It's very thick and it's hand rolled and it's all in one piece. And so it kind of curls in the bowl, and it's chewy and it's dense. It's really lovely. And they serve it, they call it garden chili, which you wouldn't necessarily look at and say, I've got to order the garden chili. It's not the sexiest name, but you trust me, you should order this. It has banana peppers, Cubanelle peppers, and arbo peppers, and they're it's a very sophisticated dish. They're very, very thinly sliced, and it's made. The sauce really is kind of. It's very difficult to describe. It is a vegetarian dish, and you know how when you make a pan sauce that has like the pasta water, where all that starch from the pasta water, so it's all of these different fresh peppers, and it's really, really lovely. It has some spice to it, some heat. I very much enjoyed it, and that was a recommendation. I sat at the bar when I dine by myself. I always sit at the bar. And so I chatted with the guys, and they were like, you have to try this. And I did, and I was really glad that I did. So definitely get that. They also have a whole roasted sardine on the menu, which you don't find very often. Very nice to see. And sardine is one of those fish. It's not the tiny canned sardines. They're these larger Mediterranean-style sardines. And so it's served whole. It's maybe about, 6 inches long. And it's served with some toasted bread and some sliced olives and this wonderful smoked tomato sherry vinaigrette. And so it's kind of sweet and vinegary. It goes really well with that kind of slightly oily texture of the sardine. Really, really good stuff. And then on the antipasti, they do have this oven roasted cauliflower that you've got to try. It just has like some olive oil and Parmigiano Reggiano and some lemon. Really, really delicious. Sweetbreads, which I know McGraw loves.
Yes.
His favorite thing to eat.
She turned me on to sweetbreads. Sweetbreads. Which is really not sweetbreads. It's another name for it.
It is sweetbreads. It's the thymus gland.
Yeah, the thymus gland, which
then.
is no. Sweetbreads is the male part of a cow.
It is not.
And
it is not testicles.
Because
it's just traditional. It's just what you call it. But it is the thymus gland. It's from the neck. Anyway.
The neck.
Oysters, burrata, hot salami. And then they also do have a number of sweets like roasted peaches, ricotta cake, all that kind of good stuff. So very traditional Italian food.
Where is it? Well, no, what's the name? Randolph's?
Randolfi's. So that is Mike
Randolfi's.
Randolph's
Okay.
grandparents' name. When they came through, I guess they made it less Italian and made it
Gotcha.
Randolph. And so
Randolfi's. What a great name.
Randolfi's, yeah.
And
Nice.
and the address again is where?
Okay, so it is 6665 Delmar. So it is down near Craft Alliance.
Got it. Okay.
On that side of the loop. And I would highly recommend you
Yeah,
get
sure.
a cocktail.
Oh.
They have a great wine list, but
Okay.
definitely get a cocktail. They have a massive cocktail list, and it is really nice. They actually give you kind of like a cheat sheet on what all of these different, like what Fernet is, what Amaro is, Genever, this kind of stuff, because a lot of times you see these things,
But you
Right.
don't know what they are.
Yeah.
and you don't, and then you feel kind of silly asking.
What was the name of the place before it was Randolfi's?
The Good Pie?
The Good Pie.
Yeah.
The Good Pie.
And so
now
Mike had
Randolfi's.
the place there previously.
Right.
He had moved from Olive in Midtown over
Gotcha.
to the Loop. And so if you're into Neapolitan style pizza, go. Definitely.
Randolfi's,
Pizza guy.
6665 Delmar. Okay, Feast Com.
Yes.
What's up with the TV show?
Well, it airs actually this Saturday.
All right.
And I also want to mention we are sponsoring the Signature Chef event, which benefits the March of Dimes. And it is going to be on September 17th, and it's at the Ritz-Carlton every year. It's an amazing lineup of chefs. Kevin Nashin is one of the lead sponsors. I'm going to be the MC. So if you're looking for a good time, and you're also looking to taste some of the best food in St. Louis, all the chefs will be there. So September 17th.
Kelly Jackson's always looking for a good time.
Donuts.
Feastmagazine.com. Feastmagazine.com for all the info.
That's right.
Randolfi's 6665 on Delmar, and Fleur de Lilies 1031 Lynch, right across the street
Yes.
from the brewery. Kat, have a good week.
Thank you.
846 Big 550 KTRS.